All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my neighbors. How y'all doing? A little bit of a technical glitch here and there, but either way, we're about to get ourselves started and get into these charts. Um, I'm just fixing some flaws that I had. I'm probably gonna have to fix that on the fly, or I'll just use one camera. Yeah, I'll probably just use one camera. Um, just kind of like I find myself putting myself into different headspaces, trying to show y'all the trade while doing it live and then taking my trades. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go through that crap again. And then I have to protect myself in certain aspects too. So I kind of tweaked some things, added it. So you might see me do some adjustments along the way, but bear with me. Um, this is a live show when it's all said and done. And, I only can do what I can do when it's all said and done. All right, so I am looking at oil, and what I was kind of tweaking was I was in this trade, and I was trying to fix this. Yeah, I probably put the oscillator maybe down here, and maybe take a little bit more off that left. It's like I gotta kind of like do this manually, which is let's do it at yeah, something like that is what I was looking for. Something small, just to kind of like point out the P&L. Maybe even put it beside me here. Nah, let's put it here. Something like that. Um, to kind of point out my P&L when I say I am taking a trade and everything else. The whole purpose of this show is to be as accountable as possible, and I hope that you're being as accountable as well. But yeah, so I'm in this oil trade. I took it in micros. That's why you're seeing it per dollar instead of per $10. Because I kind of saw something, and let me go ahead and show y'all what I saw on the chart. You'll see right here, right? We got a nice little drop into here, and I was looking for this whole entire thing to kind of fill, and it looks like it's just kind of like struggling a little bit, but we'll see what happens from there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into everything. NQ, come on, get in there. All right, so NQ. Oh, switch up that chart. All right, NQ. It looks like it's doing some funky stuff. Kind of look like a bear flag a little bit, but this could be just straight up retracement. If we take this whole entire poll, you'll see we're at the 50% mark. We're at the 50% mark of this whole entire move that started from April's correction. Could this be just a standard leg up? The reason why I'm kind of like really like keying off on this is because if we go back to October and just following just standard Elliott wave theory, technically this would be your first and then this would be your second, so the second is shorter than the first, right? So could this just be a complete fall right back down? That's the one that's really making me interested to see where everything sits when it's all set it up with in the queue. Let's go ahead and keep this going. I already pointed out CL. I'm looking forward to kind of fill into this area. I'm targeting around 73.57. That will be a good area. Gold had contract expiration, hence the reason why you kind of see what's going on with that. I know I'm speeding through. I'm not even doing the little icons that I just added as well. But anyways, gold got contract expiration, so it kind of gapped up. I don't know. Maybe this gap up is the one that's going to get it to that 2,500 that everybody's been all in waiting for. I would say just be careful because again, there is selling pressure at these levels, so just keep that in mind. Silver is putting weight on gold. We pointed that out. As this M pattern continues to play, you're going to see it starts to drag down gold because they kind of walk a little hand in hand, but silver is a little bit more expensive from a tick standpoint, so I can see how people are not really playing as much. But gold and silver kind of walk together because it's all inside of that metal space. And now we're gonna go to British pound. The British pound, it's dropping, market dropping. We already gave y'all that before. We're coming right to this order block. I want to see if we're going to test this out and continue down. We are in the bottom of the Stokes, so we could get a bounce. Natural gas. Natural gas, again, we're not in the season for natural gas. That was a real good bull trap. Got all the bulls locked up in here, and then now they're getting all liquidated. I'm looking for this momentum to take us into, and I kind of set this alert to my community. I'm looking for it to kind of come into that contract expiration gap and start to fill down, maybe come down to 1.67, 1.64, down to this area. Somewhere around this area is a good place to probably take profit. Russell, this thing has taken off a lot. I think people are late to get into it. So as they are trying to get in, they're getting themselves liquidated. So it is a little choppy because we are at this high point. But again, if we're taking money from big tech and international stuff, we're going to go ahead and toss it into the small caps. And that's the ones that's more domestic and everything else. So this is something that you want to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the Russell. And then the dollar. The dollar has been doing everything I kind of warned y'all about. I was telling y'all that there's a possibility that this is an inverse head and shoulder. They're probably going to push it back up. They're probably trying to stop the death cross. Whatever the case may be, the dollar just looks a little bit stronger today. And we're going to go ahead and see how that carries over into the market as we're about 4 minutes away from the open of the market. So be patient today. Oh, there was some news. Let me go to the economic calendar and grab some news. My FX book is my fave. Let's grab that. Yada yada yada. Advertising. Jobs report 10 o'clock. Then we had some housing data that came in that played a part. Yesterday there was a lot of euro stuff that came in around 4 a.m. It's bearish for them, so it should be bullish for us, but for some reason NQ is pushing up. Very, very interesting along the way. I had a little bit of a lotto that I took out, and it looks like it's going to get destroyed, but it's okay. It was small amounts from my profits of yesterday. So risk management, let's keep that as a theme today. Don't risk more than you're comfortable with. Don't turn around and take something that has already ran away. Wait for the retracements properly so that we can get the best results. All right, so that's going to be our theme of the day. By all means, if there's any tickets that you want me to pull up as I'm waiting for the market to open, and probably even when I have some free time, by all means, hit the chat, type it in there. Even if it's after and you want to go ahead and put it in the comment, I don't mind just going ahead and answering that on the next showing as well. Go ahead and just type it in there and I will look over it and put it against what I see and we'll go from there. Looks like I got a little bit in the red. I'm a little mad at myself because as I was fixing this problem, I saw that there was a possibility it could break back to the upside, and I told myself that was going to be an area that I was going to add another contract. And as I was fixing this flaw, it kind of did some funky stuff, and it got to that level really fast, rejected roughly about 910, and I kind of missed an extra entry. So for those that know me well, you know, oh man, I missed my entry, but hey, I got the main one still going. So I'll get back to that as this trade continues. Let's see, we got ourselves a minute and 37 seconds. Let me go back over to NQ and see if I can set myself up with anything that I could find, because that is my favorite ticker I like to trade. That is my instrument. Yeah, I think the reason why we're having so much struggle is that we have to kind of beat this order block that's here, right about here. And for price action, it kind of did this. Let me see what the weekly looks like. Okay. So yeah, this little bounce that's right here, it could be because they know that this order block is what's holding up a lot of this impact and movement here. So this is about to reset our oscillator here. So I am very curious. Is this going to be the reversal and this is the trend that we're on? Maybe. All right, so we got like about 44 seconds. See how that goes. And I'm going to load up my paper trade. Last time I said I'm going to load up my paper trade, took a trade, and that's the reason why I added this, was because I took the trade and I did not take it on the paper, so y'all didn't get to see it, and I had to drag the screen. It was just way too much. Now I have this. I can just easily just click, boom, 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 and be like, hey, this is what the P&L looks like. Later on, I might just drag it over so you can see that it's an official trade. I don't know. You know, some people are like, oh, well, you don't really take any real trades. You know, I'll point that out. Ew, actually, what I did not do, I gotta go log into all my other stuff, because I do trade options as well. fixing everything else. I didn't even log into my account. Can you believe that? Ah, come on. All right, that is that one. I have some paper trades that I got going on Thinkorswim too. I might go monitor that too. Let me add that there. All right, perfect. And then I need one more. That's that. Alright, let me get these side by side so that way I'm full and ready. Oh, Apple moved up $1. Must be nice. Whoa, what just boosted up my portfolio? It is not my cues, I know that for a fact. Oh, okay, I know what they. So, kind of small recap. I kind of put this out on my Horns versus Claws. If you have it, maybe I'll go back and point the link in there. But in Horns versus Claws, I did put a pizza. I've been eyeballing this one, and I've been very curious on what it's going to do here. Yesterday, I had a nice little pop-up, and right now, it's kind of helping my portfolio. I'm looking for them to kind of get a nice little push up here, so we'll see what happens with that trade. All right, back to NQ. We're here for futures. That's what we're here for. Nice little bounce here. Maybe they recapture this wick. Tough area to get through, so that way they can try to take out this fair value gap and gap right there. So that's going to be very interesting. Is this going to be that momentum to get us like that off the order block, fill this, then come back down? Very possible. Very, very possible. Let's go back over to oil. Oil is still trying to break down that $75 level. Psychological level, anything 5s and 0s, that's the one that come in. That's my test. I'll come back to that later and see what's going on with that. Probably gonna get 2 more alerts on that. I'm looking for 73.57. Gold still look like it's powering up. I want to see this thing test this wick before I try to play it to the 488. And back over to NQ. Let's see the first 5 minutes. Let's see how this looking. It looks like it wanted to dump, and then they just bought up all that dip. Let me get this chart ready. And then this one here. All right. Okay. Oh, I didn't put this in place. Let me fix you. You go here, and you go there. All right, bring up my groupings, and where's my other one? Oh, there it is, over there. So I can keep an eye on oil. All right, 5 minute looks like they're probably going to give us a little boost. Let's go down the time frames a little bit. Daily looks like party just started. 2 hour looks like they could continue, maybe get the momentum, get to this top area here. 1 hour, little fatigued. 15 minute. Maybe reject that right here around that 300 level. Maybe that's what they're aiming for. I can see some downside right now. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Got 45 seconds left. Actually, let me use this chart so I can see my watcher, the liste, and see if I have anything going on. Adobe. Oh, Adobe, you're pushing up. I was looking at Adobe to continue to the downside, but it looks like they're gonna test back up into that area that I'm looking for. Actually, you know what? Let me. You're giving it back. All right, let me point out this for y'all. For my stocks and option folks, I gotta at least cater to y'all here and there. I was looking for something similar to this. Actually, this was an example I was presenting somebody. Actually, let me bring that back. I may be looking for something along the lines of this today, assuming that this trend line is going to hold, because the weekly looks like this. Yep. Not doing that alert today. Gotta do some more back testing. I'm looking for the weekly to kind of put some pressure here. And then I have another trend line on one of my other charts showing a potential micro uptrend that's going to break a major downtrend. I want to see Adobe test somewhere around here, around that 500 to maybe 475, somewhere around here. That will be a nice good pullback, especially with the fact that tech has been running all over the place. And yes, Adobe does have some AI features, but they're not your AI focal point, if that's the best way to say it. So is this really support? Is this really an area with this fair value gap that's going to hold on the weekly, and people are just going to keep on buying the dip at 505? That's what I'm curious about. So if I was going to go ahead and play this down, I'd probably look at something like this, or I'll probably tweak this a little bit, because this is now my official micro downtrend to what could be, I'll give y'all a little bit of a synopsis. There's a major uptrend going from here to here that they could be trying to test, and all we're doing is just kind of consolidating here. That's the one that made me curious about it, but it just looks like an overgrown consolidation. So just temper yourself. I'm going to see what happens with Adobe at this point. Back to NQ. I don't want to get too far away from NQ. They bought it right back up, you jerks. All right, SMH. NQ is probably going to be more affected by SMH, because as people are getting out of the semis, that's the one that's probably going to go down with your Nvidias. So as it's holding this base and keep on accumulating, that's probably why NQ is pushing up like that. Amazon is trying to get through its order block. Had a nice order block. Let me go over to Amazon right here. Over to the daily. You got yourself a nice little order block that's right here. And it's trying to get through that. We had a downtrend line right here. So this micro trend right here is what is putting pressure to see if they can go ahead and break out and continue through here. Maybe retest this area. So maybe even a nice little bounce here, test here, and then kind of take off to here, especially with earnings coming up. So that could be the case with Amazon. So just keep that in mind. All right, how much time we have left? Oh, let me bring back that oil. So it looks like oil is actually giving me something. I'm really looking for like about 150 bucks. Now it's in the backside of this downtrend line that I have here. So I think this thing is going to try to bounce here. I don't want it to do that. Let me pull up CL for you. I built this off the 5-minute. Boom, boom. So yeah, so I got a nice little downtrend line over here. Then there was another one right here, very micro. I wanted to just blast through and take out this support here. If we can take out that support, then we should get a good solid dump that I'm looking for. So we'll see. How much time do we have left? 1 minute. Okay, almost to our 15-minute, and we'll get that going. First Solar, I this doggone thing. I was looking at this and I was like, it is probably on its way. Actually, wrong chart. Let me get out of here. Oh, actually, I did put it on that one. Okay, FSLR. So First Solar, it looks like this bad boy is trying to break down the micro trend that's right here. Earnings is tonight. Yeah, I would say wait till tomorrow. Maybe we could get some flushes along the way there, but this one right here, yeah, it is consolidating, and it's probably not a good time for you to get in there. Let's just sit back and relax. Datadog is breaking one of my uptrend lines. And now Datadog is a victim of circumstances because of what happened with CrowdStrike, and I think all cybersecurity is going to feel it. So you got that, you got Snow. I think that's another one. What's another one I can think of? Let's just look at Crowd. Let me see what Crowd's doing. Oh, damn, Crowd. So supposedly there's some lawsuits that's going to be coming with Crowd, because of course people lost time, they lost, money, especially the airlines. They had to give refunds. A lot of people were affected with that debacle by some tech engineer that decided to roll out something that wasn't ready. That's what it really boils down to. So as they go to this earnings, I could imagine this earnings is going to be relatively mute, and yeah, they're just gonna have to do a whole lot of damage control. All right, let's get back to NQ. Too far away from NQ. Let's see. All right, we got ourselves another 4 minutes or so, and that's what I was saying. You see that 300 level? It probably was coming just for it. Oh, 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 or not, or not. Could we really break through? Oh, this is a nasty order block we put in yesterday. That's going to take some work to get through that. That's you talking about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, at least a good hour, hour and 15 minutes of just up and down action. This is not a relatively good sign for it when it's all said and done. So I would say, yeah, Mr. NQ, maybe get ourselves a nice little reset, or just explode right through and then get back to this top area, one or the other. So let's make it happen, Captain. All right, we got ourselves 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and then we'll do our opening range. Let me go back to some more of these tickers. Alcoa, I'm looking forward to get to $30 before I even think of it bullish. Costco is sitting on top of an order block, which this order block can fall through if it's all done that way. So it's sitting right there in the order block. I really think they wanted to retest 790, but right now it's sitting right here on top of this order block here. So this can hold as key level of support and then start to really take off to that upside. Microsoft has earnings tonight, so that one's going to be a real test to the market. Especially, I would love to hear their conference call. Actually, I'm probably going to listen to it on what are their take with CrowdStrike. Are they getting rid of CrowdStrike? Are they going with somebody else because that rollout made them look bad? And the only thing people want to hear is, "Hey, I need solutions." So this Microsoft chart, let me pull this up for y'all so y'all can see MSFT. Got like 3 minutes. All right, boom, boom. Yeah, I could see this try to fill this gap and fair value gap and go into the gap. That's a very strong possibility. Or does it create a gap and then it fills right back down? Let's look at the weekly. No, weekly still looks a little bearish. Monthly looked like recovery. Yeah, there's a lot of questions that needs to be answered here. Let's see, dividends is right after, and they have a tendency. Okay, yeah, I think it filled the fair value gap, possibly, very very possible. And the last one I have is Trade Desk. Trade Desk looks like it's breaking this microtrend and coming down. All right, back to NQ. All right, here we go. Interesting doji. What did I draw out? Got a whole entire order block sheet. You know what? Let me just grab this and bring this down. I'm gonna use this and this. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. All right, let me get rid of the P&L for now because I'm gonna probably switch over to NQ. All right, get myself ready for a possible maybe breakout. If it does, target that I have is let me look at this list here. I have 19,147 getting back down to there again. We could consolidate. This could be really, really messy. When's the news? I might have to wait to the news and not just take the first 15 minutes. Ew. Or not. All right, let's see. I want to see 5 minutes close below. I don't want to just jump to conclusions, but it's very tempting at this point. Let me see. 1 hour pointed down. Yeah. Yeah, very, very tempting. But I'm gonna temper myself. I'm gonna just cool it down. All right. Let me go back over and check out on CL. Okay, about 16 bucks is working its way. It's trying. I haven't taken a position in NQ yet. I want a solid 5 minute close out of there. Now that's the that's gonna be the tough one now. I gotta try to figure out, because the jobs JOLTS report comes out in 13 minutes, right? Very high impact, can really affect the market, right? And then I have a 5 minute that looks like, it looked like it was gonna close below there, but you can see they put it in the doji. It's sitting right at my 50 EMA. Let me turn on my 50 here. I don't know why I don't have it on here. There we go. This is why patience is so important. Because part of me is like, okay, you know what, just go ahead and just get the trade and, just take it. It is what it is, or whatever the case may be. But part of me is like, we ain't doing that. Not at all. Oh, you know what? I gotta work on that transition. I don't think I like that transition for that one. Where are my transitions? Do 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 do. Nah, we're not gonna do that one. That's for my scalps. Technically, we should be going short right now. Very tempting, but I don't want to go ahead and crash into the news. I am going to wait for the news. I am. Oh, but it's 5 minutes about to close. So strong to this downside. How tempting. How tempting. Let me go check my oil so I can keep myself distracted before I do something reckless. Oh my God, oil's being a jerk. Look what the oil's doing now. It's like it's literally holding at that level I drew that line, and it's look like it's going to do higher lows and probably curl this right back up. This thing breaks this support. I think it's a beeline straight to that 73. So just be patient. I'm not gonna add to this unless it breaks completely out. I think that's the angle I'm gonna go with. All right, we'll go ahead and put that on the screen as we wait for NQ. So tempting, I know. I'm joking. It's not tempting anymore. All this consolidation is just being very jerkish. This is how people can lose money. You want to be able to get something, and that's probably why we're doing that irky jerky move right now, is because people are knowing that the news is coming out and they're probably getting out of their positions. So if I had something that was a little bit more impactful, maybe like a good clean close, and we kind of stair step this 1 minute maybe, but I could see that we're just zigzagging all day, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I won't be surprised this thing finishes with a hammer. And it looks like we're getting there. Not the most perfect hammer, but it's still a hammer. We closed below it, so it's going to tempt those to play the orb. To stomach this. I don't want to play it with the news. I really don't. But that could have been the catalyst to play the orb. This might be the run all the way down. Actually, oil's following suit too. If you believe that, like, if it takes out this wick. Congratulations if you did take the trade and you didn't get scary about the news like me. But I've been burned by news before, so I'm not taking the trade just to be on the safer side. I want a more sound wham. And it just made lower lows. This thing probably going to take off. If it takes off to this order block, I'll probably play the bounce and just wait for it, and maybe that's the catalyst to help the news. But this could come back. I would say be smart with your profits if you are in this trade. Oil is annoying me, but I have a target of 145 bucks or so, and there's 19 bucks won't do. Not at all. I'd rather risk that than for me to go ahead and start tightening up the stop on this one. I really think this thing is going to break down. Got 9 minutes to the news drops. I'm gonna go to the bullish side. So all those was my bearish ideologies and trades. Let's go ahead and look at some of the bullish ones. Hilton recovered well. I really thought I was gonna go ahead and dump. I should have took that off of that order block, but it was a little bit in no man's land, and that's the reason why I didn't take that trade. Let me go ahead and pull this up to the daily. We broke a downward trend. We could probably adjust it again because this made lower lows here. We broke a downward trend, and I wasn't too sure if it was going to hold below, especially that it was using as resistance. I think we recovered probably at the end of the day, and I looked at it in the early part of the day. So some of this you would just want to just let it go. At this point, I probably would do a tight stop here and then take this to the upside if this daily closes where there was no buyers having, or any sellers having any control. Now this one's going to be a little tricky as we head to earnings. Earnings is on Wednesday the 7th next week, so I'll probably do something as a day trade and see how it goes. Oh, did it? It bounced off the SMA. Yeah, you see that's the problem with that SMA 200 SMA. Yeah, we gonna need some strength. We might bounce back up and then pick up some more people and then just try to slam it right back down. That would be probably the help that we're looking for. Let's see, CVX never recovered, even though it looked very bullish. We never got to that 170 level. I don't like 3M for what it's been doing. It was looking like it was going to do a solid. Well, actually, no, it did it at earnings. Earnings was Friday. Okay, I must have missed that. Oh, it skipped over my alert. That's why. Got it. So 3M gapped up. I'm a little mad at myself. I didn't want to carry anything to earnings. What I should have probably did is paid attention on the earnings and then caught this. But yeah, it was kind of hard to kind of play that. But this was a nice solid run for anyone that took 3M. Home Depot is there. It's breaking out of what I was kind of considered like we had a little bit of a micro downtrend right here, and we're slowly breaking through it, and it's going through that. So I want to see what it does with that. We already know what's going on with that. DR Horton's just looking crazy. Sherwin-Williams is continuing. JPM looks like it's turning into a little bit of a bucket to try to push back up to the upside. Kind of like that H-ish pattern here. Now it has been taking off for a while, and that does look like it could continue, those three screens there. So I'm looking to see if this 207 is really a support level when it's all said and done. So that's going to be interesting. And then the last one is AbbVie. And AbbVie is coming for Eli Lilly's lunch. So if we look at AbbVie, so if you go into the healthcare space, this is probably going to be really, really good. Nice little breakout here. You probably could get some more money out of AbbVie. That weekly is a little juiced, but that monthly looked like the party just started. And we got 1 day, 7 hours left. So I don't think they're going to erase this whole entire thing. It stays above 182. I think AbbVie is going to continue to that upside. Unlike Lilly, which was in my bearish segment, it's almost like they're taking money out of Lilly and throwing it into tickers like AbbVie. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's get back to it. We got 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and stick with NQ and this bad boy. I want to play it, but I don't want to play it because I want to wait for the news. And I guess I should have played it. Now, I do have, which is probably getting beat up right now because it didn't do that impactful drop. I do have, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I think I put it in Fang. Yeah, I'm down 41% on a $6 contract right now. I was just doing a little bit of a lotto on this one, but I was anticipating that we was gonna hold this low down here, maybe retrace to here, but we broke so much structure over here. I was very concerned. So, very curious on how this news pans out. All right, we're at the level of support roughly around this area. So if this news really starts to tank it, those that got in with the orb and was patient, this should really help you out and start printing for you, and you should be excited. While me, I'll probably be one of the individuals that's coming in a little bit after the fact and assist onto this downside. If it keeps holding like this, and look at this thing is going right there. Oof. Patience, patience, patience. Probably going to need a 5-minute pullback too. Yeah, let's see what that 15 minute is just a straight down. No long wicks, so we should be okay for more downside as this news drops. So patience, patience, patience. Two minutes and 32 seconds left. And the only reason I kind of highlighted that spot is because we're sitting right on top of a very deep order block on that 5-minute. This fails, we're going to go right back into that major order block that I wrote out on the daily, which is this area here in gold. And I think this is where they're really trying to get through. So we'll see. We will see. And then CL, what are you doing over there, CL? Oh, don't you dare recover now. I just want this thing to just fill all the way down. Yes, keep going down. And the reason why I went with light leverage was because I knew I wasn't going to pay attention to it. So whatever happens, I know for a fact I'm only risking about $50, give or take, instead of $500. That's the love of having the micros instead of the minis. All right. Come on, break down that 79. Let's get all the way under 75. Yeah, you know what? I'll be back. I'll leave you alone since you want to be a jerk. Maybe because I'm watching you. That's why you're trying to bounce. All right, no long wick. No long wick, 5-minute. No long wick. I have not taken a position yet. Considering taking one. News drops in 56 seconds. Let's see what happens. See what goes. Yeah, we get. See, that's what I was afraid of. That long wick on that 15-minute. That look, it looks super bearish, and then now it's doing that. This is what the 15-minute look just about 2 minutes ago. I don't want that long wick. I want you to just really break down. Let this death cross. Like this was just all a test, just to get back up here, get some new people into the elevator, and just straight drop. That's what I want to see. But we're going to take what the chart gives us. And this 5-minute does not tell me I'm ready to get in. 7 seconds. All right. It came in on the news bullish for the dollar. Extremely bullish for the dollar. Now, I'm not taking it as okay, now it's time to load up the boat over there. Actually, let me go check out what the dollar's doing over there. Dollar's taking off. I'm not saying for you to load up the boat on puts or anything like that. But I will say if you can find a key level of resistance, maybe you could consider it. Um, but I want to see them kind of take out that wick before I actually take anything to the downside. Probably gonna go light leverage one contract, knowing that this can be very noisy along the way, especially all that buy orders that came in. But if it takes out a level of support, I know I'm going to go slam right into an order block. That's why I'm going super light, but I'm also probably going to go super tight with it. So probably half of that candle, give or take. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we get that. All right. Below the order block, I may consider adding on. This thing could just retrace the whole entire thing because it's a news reaction. All right, let's get under the order block. Come on, baby. Get under that block. Get under it. Get under it. That looks good. I considered adding there, but I think I'm going to be patient. I think I want that wick too, and then get ready for that order block itself. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Don't you dare be disrespectful. Come on. Take out those bulls. The bulls need a dirt nap. Come on. All right. Time to start considering putting my profits in place because I thought I was going to get... Oh, we got it. We got under it. We got under it. Let me get this profit and loss. Should have just added it. There we go. To add. That was the add section there. Let's get to the block. Let's get to the block. Let's get to the block. Here comes the additions. Come on, give them the additions. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Come on. Come on. I got like 745. I think I'm gonna lock in. Oh, come on. Don't get under 500. I'm gonna have to close this whole position out. Yeah, I'm taking that. So what I was looking for was for it to actually, let me zoom in on this screen here. I was looking for it to kind of like really muscle its way down here. I could have added, but that was about 100 ticks. So that's why I was like, don't go under 500. That's how I got the 425. So I got like 80 or something like that. So I had as much as 750. I think that was my high. And I was willing to risk that to get deeper into the block because I wanted to get in the block, maybe even get some momentum in the block. But I'm happy with my 100 ticks right there, and we'll just find another trade. So that was a good orb breakout and then waiting for the news. Now I know some probably going to criticize a little bit. Here's the break here, maybe hold above there. That's 100 there, that's 200 here, and that's 300 here, right? I get it, right? But if I'm going to show it to y'all right, I might as well just say there are some catalysts. If you were a little bit more riskier and you could have dealt with the stomach of it pulling back, waiting for the news and holding on to it, because again, with the news coming out, it could have just came straight for your stop loss. That could have been a possibility too. That's on you, but just make sure you're trading your plan and not your money. This thing's probably going to recover and then go all the way back down. But I am happy with my 500 bucks as I'm adding to it. And then let's go check out the oil. I have not looked at CL. Let's go see what's going on at MCL. Just toying around. It's back above that 85. What I wanted to do is like really break down. Oh, but we did make some lows. Let me get rid of this trend line out the way. I hope that wasn't a liquidation sweep so that way they could push it back up. We'll see how that goes. Oh, and you see what NQ is doing, and this is what I'm fearful of, right? Let me come over here. So when we have these impactful moves, I want this one to stay strong there. When it started pulling back a little bit deep here, you can tell they're sweeping all the bears out. And now we're making higher lows here. This thing could really reverse and like really start to take off and come right back into here. That's a very strong possibility. Let's go check out the dollar. Dollars at the 50 EMA. They tried to get to the 50 EMA yesterday and they really struggled. And that's another thing that kind of made me a little bit concerned too. I want to see them fill this out and then start to really attack this area. That's going to be giving us that real pullback that I think the market relatively needs. And look at that. We're starting to get back into areas that would be very uncomfortable if somebody stayed. Look at that. Look at that. See? Ah, come on, oil. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. And that's what I was afraid of, that they were doing a liquidation sweep and then they're getting as much liquidity to go ahead and bounce back up. Might not be good for this trade because we're back above $75 again. Like I said, I'm risking like about 50 bucks on this one. We're at my trend line again, and this is an area that I could I don't like this consolidation. Let me bring CL on the 5-minute for you. I don't like that consolidation that it's doing, because what it's doing to my stochastic is basically consolidation here while it's dropping, which is putting in each time new bullish divergences. That's not a good sign. That's not a happy joy situation. Get a break here. I want that break at 7480. We had to close below here at 950 and then start making higher lows since. Just be patient. Just be patient. We'll probably wrap up 10:15, 10:30. I did forget to load up my stocks and options too. I knew it was going to go to an order block. That would have been tough to try to navigate that and show y'all at the same time. I probably would have drove myself crazy on how quick that happened. Let me go back to, let me just look at this chart. On that. Oh yeah, that would have been tough because I got in and all inside of 5 minutes to get in the trade and unwind the trade all at the same time. That would have been a nightmare. That would have been a nightmare. All right, back over to CL. This 5 minutes is being a complete jerk. Let me see what this daily looks like. Come on. They know what would happen. I think that's what it is. They know what would happen because we got the stock completely turned over. We had long wicks here. We had short wick. I'm sorry, long wick here and then short wick here, and that's where we got the liquidation sweep right here. But long wick here, and they're trying to put another long wick here. I know you're gonna get buyers somewhere around here. I'll be one of them. I'll buy my position and get out. Just get down here. When it's all said and done, oh man. But if we look at it from the weekly standpoint, we are like really pointing down. I wanted to see oil really kind of like continue because you got this hump here, hump here, hump here, and this should have been a lower low. That's what I was looking for. But all this buying pressure that's happening here is making it tough. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's get back to the NQ. Yeah, I'm telling you, sometimes it's you gotta know when to hold them. Know when. Oh, actually, would I get hit with copyrights if I do that? Anyways, y'all know the song. Let me not mess with the YouTube algorithm before they come in and be like, "Well, you can't do that, sir." All right, we get ourselves a redump. be surprised that there's some buyers hanging right inside of this area here ish. If I was going to try to take this, I probably would take this with a limit order down here. It's a little risky, so I'll do it on the screen with paper trade to kind of point out what I'm thinking on a quick scalp of a sell stop somewhere around here, and looking for them to capture then dump, because the 15 minutes still looks like this, the 1 hour still looks like this. Come on, where are you? Right, so this is technically still downside, but the market's going to do what it wants. So don't come down here, or I have a nice order for you that might pin that 5-minute stoke down to the ground. Oh, 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 my idea might, they hit the brakes on it. Watch out, bulls. Here comes a freight train of bears. Let's see if they can catch it here. If they catch it here, then they're going to get yourself a nice bounce. But I do believe they want to test this order block. They want to see what happens with that order block in itself. They're not looking to just stop here and then push back up. Now, there is some reasons why it can, especially if we go over to the daily. There is this gap right here. We have not solved this objective down here. But do we go all the way 2,000 or 20,000 again? That could be the last hoorah, or the last rally, or the last, or whatever the case you want to go ahead. Like, they just power right on up and then dump. So that could be the target that they're looking for. Of course, they're probably going to be looking for some targets inside of this daily, because this was a very bearish candle. So if they fill this fair value gap and then this gap, you got a nice order block right here between this price action here and the price action here. You could tell that getting down here was not easy. It was not. All right, let's come back over to the 5-minute. We'll give it like 10, 20. Oh yeah, see, Jeff, you gotta stay with your convictions. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna try to make this lower low on oil. Come on, baby, get down there. Okay. We got 2 minutes, and this thing still looks like it wants to come down. Recapture that wick. We should get a nice little strong dump cycle down. Looks very tempting. 200 level, psychological level. That's probably the reason why we keep on coming back down here. 189.75. Yeah, breaking that would just take, oh, actually, and then my stop will be somewhere above that candle. It's like somewhere around here, just to kind of give you an idea, assuming that that candle is just going to hold and just literally liquidate. Looks like it's doing that now. How sharply of a bounce. That is grabbing some liquidity for buy from the sell side. Oh, oh my God! All those sellers are feeling the pain now, and that's why market structure is so important. Looks like my oil's starting to take off. Could have added. But it was such a small loss. Like, it was just such a weird spot. It was so close to break even. I think the real spot was about 20 minutes ago. I could have had 2 contracts, but we'll leave that alone. Let's just do a quick little run through of everything. So we got NQ. NQ is not going to do that order, it looks like. We'll come back to that. And let's go to the 1 hour for y'all so I can have some plans. Oh yeah, and then this is CL on the 1 hour. Yeah, just give me Give me that nice little boost down to the downside. I appreciate it if you could. Gold here. They're trying to hold up this level that from contract expiration. I want to see what it does with that level sometime in the middle of today or later on this week. Silver is the one that's putting a lot of weight because silver does look weak for the most part, and you can see that from here. British pound, market's dropping. They are dropping. Come on, keep on dropping, and then that dollar should strengthen up. Natural gas is not giving us that H pattern. It could be another bull trap. Be careful. I don't think it's ready for. It's still sunny out there, especially down here in South Florida. This one is Russell. Russell gave up that whole 1 hour, just that like that. That was a quick little liquidation there. And then the last one is the dollar. Can the dollar overtake this level and continue back up? It possibly can. It's probably what I'll be looking for, and that will make the market dump. But we'll see. Oh, and for my VIX lovers, I'm gonna do the VIX for y'all. VIX is at 16. Let's grab this on the daily. Let's squeeze this chart all the way down so you can kind of make sense of it all. Kind of look like we're in this channel a little bit, like that, and like that, and it's failing from breaking out. This support level on the VIX could be retested and make the market rally. That could be the push that we're looking to get to that gap. But if we get above here, I won't be surprised that we start to test some of these areas here. We have not been above, let me see, I want to get above this pivot. So 20, so that was the one that kind of started the April drop. Yeah, I told y'all this chart before where we kind of looked at April. That was the correction and everything else. That was the last time we've been above this level here around 21.22. The last time we was above here, that was in March of 2023, which is at 30. I think the real mean is like around 25. So anything else is like really, really super bearish. So just be careful with any of the upside. Let's give it like another 3 minutes and then we'll tap completely out. If you like the video, by all means, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way you know when I come on. I'm going to be back on again tomorrow at 9:15. My trading floor is open 9:15 to roughly around 10:30. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday and Friday, I do a lot of classes and everything else. Book your 101. Link is down below. And oil is being a jerk. Oh my God. Come on, oil. Let's get back to oil. Stop being a jerk. Let that fair value gap go. I've got more than enough time. Maybe we could put in another bearish fair value gap there. Yeah, I think the 4 hour wants to push up, and this daily, how does the daily look? Yeah, the daily turn right back down. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's go back over to NQ. They did not pick up my order. Does it seem feasible to have this order still in place? Not really, because it's kind of channeling. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. I was looking for them to kind of liquidate these bulls, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Oil's being tough. You see? And that's why I was saying with NQ, maybe it'll go through, but now that area was an area that was of interest where bulls could come in and liquidate the bears, because they've already did it when we had that push up inside of this candle here. So that took out a lot of bears when they did that. So now could they be sweeping right back up and letting this 5 minute really start to sing to the upside and maybe even take out this fair value gap up here? Everything is about balancing. For every buyer, there has to be a seller, and vice versa. And I think that's what they're doing. We came back and retested that line way too quickly on oil. This thing might take off above the 50 EMA on my 5-minute. That's what I'm talking about. Unless they're building a block to go down, this does not look good. This could be a base so that way they could go ahead and take off and retake this wick here. My stop loss is roughly somewhere around that range. Here, let me squeeze this down so I could see my stop loss right there. Oh, but you can't see the chart. Basically, this is 70, 75, 55. That's what I'm looking for as a stop. But we'll see. NQ, jeez, very indecisive. Very indecisive. I think that order gonna look good now, but this time it's gonna be a little bit deeper and lower. Let's get it under the, let's do 189 even, something like that. Because now the 200 level just keeps on getting attacked over and over and over again. So I'm thinking that if the 200 price level keeps getting hit like this, eventually the bottom's going to fall out. Something like that. But I need confirmation. That means I need these buyers out the way like that. And I need follow through, which, oh, actually, and then my stop loss will be the candle, which is this candle right here. So about 118 ticks, give or take. And then this could be the one that actually goes through the order block. Oh, some buyers are living in this wick here. Come on, take them out. Those are lingering orders. They had no business being there. Give them their pain. Because it's such a heavy leverage, I do consider taking myself and putting it into profit, which I'm probably going to start doing that in another few seconds, right about now. Let's go ahead and put you probably close to break even. About, let's do 10 ticks. Let's do that. Let's see how that pans out. Like, you're gonna have to have some real muscle to come get me. Come on, let's get to the block. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like this wick here, there was some buyers here. That's why we had those push-ups there. But hopefully there's enough sellers that was inside of these areas that really pushed it down, and that's what they're looking for. Still leaving it at 10 ticks only because I want to see I give it enough breathing room to take out all those buyers. It's struggling. Oof, struggled. But okay, I'd rather get green. I'm really targeting. There's no purpose of being in a trade unless you target and get what you're looking for. And that was for me to get into here. I was risking 118 ticks. It gets down inside of that area. Probably get like 100 and actually probably 200. I got in on the break. So something like 150, 170. So at least a 125, maybe 150. Somewhere around here is where I was looking to probably tighten up, take profit. But it never got there. And I'd rather make a little change trying to find it and see if it gets there than for me to turn around and let that thing come all the way back to 118. Don't let that happen. Yeah, they may come back and recapture. Look at that, 17 seconds. We really are closing under that 200 level. Maybe get a little retracement, and I'll take another stab at it on another scalp. I'm coming down so I can find something sharp. All right, let's get ourselves a push-up. I think we're gonna get one. At 5 minute, we're making lower highs, lower low along the way. So I just want to go ahead and give it a little bit of a breather because I don't have any real support coming down. And that's why entries are so important. Like if I had an entry somewhere around here, I probably could have weathered that pullback. But nope. My entry was a breakout, so I was looking for momentum to catch it and continue. Come on, give me some strength. I think that's the best entry I would have got. That's about it. I just know there's buyer. Yep, there's buyers in this candle, and with the 1 minute being so oversold or in that lower register, it could have did something just like this. That's why I'm just like really sitting and waiting. All right, we'll give it 4 more minutes. If it doesn't give me a good entry on that, we'll probably call it a day. We did good. We did good. My oil is just going to sit there and do this little dance until it gets to my 146 maybe, or hit my $50 stop loss, whatever the case may be. We took about $500 down. If you got it at the peak, you took it like about 700 per contract. So if you had like 2, 3, 4, just take that multiplier. But it was a really, really good trade. Good ORB out. And that said, I bid you a fond farewell. See you tomorrow at 9:15, and we'll keep this going. See ya.